Welcome to aminacademy.com. In the questions how, why, what. And that we'll discuss about what are the facts about honeybee, how they communicate each other. Honeybees, six-legged species, live in colonies with one queen running the whole hive. Worker honeybee are all female and they're the only bees most people ever see flying around outside of the hive. They forage for food, build and honeycombs and protect the hive. Many species still occur in the wild, but honeybees are disappearing from hives due to colony collapse disorder. The scientists are not sure what is causing this collapse. Honeybees are important pollinators for flowers, fruit, and vegetables. They live on stored honey and pollen all winter and cluster into a ball to conserve warmth. All honeybees are social and cooperative insects. Members of the hive are divided into three types: workers forage for food, pollen, and nectar from flowers, build and protect the hive, clean and circulate air by breathing their wings. The queen's job is simple. She lays the egg that all spawns the hive's next generation of bees. There is usually only a single queen in a hive. If the queen dies, workers will create a new queen by feeding one of the workers' female a special food called royal jelly. This elixir enables the workers to develop into a fertile queen. Queens regulate the hive's activities by producing chemicals that guide the behavior of the other bees. Male bees are called drones, the third class of honeybee. Several hundred drones live in each hive during the spring and summer, but they are expelled for the winter months when the hive goes into a lean survival mode. We will discuss about the facts about honeybee, the interesting fact. Honeybees are super important pollinators for flowers, fruit, and vegetables. This means that they help other plant growth. Bees transfer pollen between the male and female parts, allowing plants to grow seeds and fruit. Honeybees live in hive or it called colonies. The member of the hive are divided into three types. The queen. One queen runs the whole hive. Her job is to lay the eggs that will spawn the hive's next generation of bees. The queen also produces chemicals that guides the behavior of the other bees. Workers, these are all female and their roles are to forage for food, that pollen and nectar from flowers, build and protect the hive, clean and circulate air by beating their wings. Workers are the only bees most people ever see flying around the outside the hive. Drones, these are the male bees and their purpose is to mate with the new queen. Several hundred live in each hive during the spring and summer, but come winter, when the hive goes into survival mode, the drones are kicked out. What are these buzzing bugs most famous for? Delicious honey. But did you know they produce honey as food stores for hive during winter? Luckily for us, these efficient little workers produce 2 to 3 times more honey than they need. So we get to enjoy the tasty treat too. If the queen bees die, If the queen bee dies, workers will create a new queen by selecting a young larva, the newly hatched baby insect, and feeding it a special food called royal jelly. This enables the larva to develop into a fertile queen. The honey bees are fab flyers. They fly at a speed of around 25 km per hour and beat their wings nearly 200 times per second. Each bee has 170 odorant receptors, which means they have one serious sense of smell. They use this to communicate within the hive and to recognize different types of flowers when looking for food. The average worker bee lives for just 5 to 6 weeks. During this time, she will produce around a 12th of a teaspoon of honey. The queen can alive up to 5 years. She is busiest in the summer month when she can lay up to 2500 eggs a day. The honeybees are also brilliant boogiers. To share information about the best food sources, they perform their waggle dance. When the workers return to the hive, it moves in a figure of 8 and waggles its body to indicate the direction of the food source. Cool. Sadly, over the past 15 years, colonies of bees have been disappearing and the reason remains unknown. Referred to as colony collapse disorder, billions of honeybees across the world are leaving their hives never to return. In some regions, up to 90% of bees have disappeared. We can all do our bit to support this brilliant bugs gang. Why not plant flowers rich in nectar such as lavender and bluebells, which will help bees find the food they need? And when your family are buying honey, try to choose varieties that are locally made to support our honey bees and their beekeepers. Now let us further discuss about how they communicate each other. The bees, how they communicate each other by movement. A waggle dance. A worker bee performs this dance to tell other bees about the location of food sources, water, and other points of interest. The dance includes a straight line, a shaking abdomen, and a buzzing sound. The bee's body position relative to the hive ceiling indicates the direction and distance of the food sources. Shake dance. A worker bee performs this dance when there are rich nectar sources and more fragrant are needed. Order cues. Pheromones. Bees releases different pheromones to convey different messages. For example, the workers bee releases a pheromone when they sting, which alerts other bees to a threat. A queen bee also produces a perform pheromones that keep the colony productive. Food exchanges. Sharing food. Bees are bees share food with each other to communicate information. The main benefits of eating honey in moderation may include blood pressure management, cholesterol management, wound healing when used topically, cough suppression, polyphenol content, which is thought to aid in digestion and have other health benefits, antioxidant content, which fight free radicals. Now, how are some ways to check if honey is pure? Normally, nowadays, the pure honey is not available. Most of them is impure. That means mixing with some other content. First, water test. Mix a tablespoon of honey into a glass of water. Pure honey will settle at the bottom and not dissolve easily. If it dissolves quickly, it may be adulterated with water or syrups. Thumb test. Put a small amount of honey on your thumb and see if it spreads. If it spreads, the honey is likely impure. Pure honey will stay intact on your thumb. Flame test. Dip a matchstick into a honey and try to light it. If the honey is pure, the match will light easily. However, if the honey is adulterated, it may be difficult to light. Blot test. Pour a few drops of honey onto a cloth or blotting paper. If the honey flows through the paper without wetting it, it's pure. If the paper gets wet, the honey is impure. Look for specks. Pure honey should have small bits of pollen or beeswax in it. Fake honey is usually completely clear and has a consistent color. You can also have your tested in a laboratory. They can analyze the honey for its sugar content, water content, acidity, and more. Now, further more about honey in shortly. Honeybee. Common name honeybees. Scientific name Apis mellifera. Type invertebrates. Diet herbivore. Group name colony swarm. Average lifespan in the wild up to 5 years. Size 0.4 to zero point 0.6 inches for workers bee. So far we discussed about some interesting fact about honeybees and honey. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.